half an hour's drive southeast of Konya, famous for being the city where the Persian mystic Rumi was laid to rest, and Sufi dervishes whirl. A lone hill looms over the parched, pita-flat basin of a vast prehistoric lake. For centuries, the oval-shaped rise, carpeted with grasses and Syrian rue, was known to local farmers as Çatalhöyük, Turkish for the mound at the fork in the road. When archaeologists began to excavate the site in the early 1960s, they realized the mound concealed the remnants of an important prehistoric community. It would prove to be the most populous site ever discovered from the Neolithic, the period when our species began to domesticate plants and animals and gather in permanent settlements. 8,500 years ago, Çatalhöyük was home to as many as 8,000 people, making it the single largest concentration of humans that had ever lived on Earth. At its peak, Çatalhöyük covered about 32 acres, a little larger than Battery Park, at the tip of Manhattan, is today. It was also, judged by modern standards, a very odd place. From the visitor's parking lot next to a tea house and souvenir stand, a sinuous path leads to the top of an archaeological dig known as the East Mound, which is as tall as a 7-story building. A wooden frame stretched with translucent polymer, a structure that from a distance resembles the shell of an armadillo, keeps 60 years' worth of painstaking excavations protected from the elements. In the milky, filtered light of midday, walls of clay, marl, and plaster, buttressed by sandbags and wooden support beams, glow in warm, earthen hues. A gangway following the structure's inner perimeter offers a variety of viewpoints on the site, which reveals itself as an irregular gridwork of 3-dimensional rectangles, rising in tiers. The jumble of buildings suggests a Spanish hill village, of the kind the Cubists like to paint, albeit one whose houses have had their roofs sheared off. After a while, the attentive visitor might notice a few curious details. The presence of circular pits in many floors. The fact that there is virtually no space between the walls of neighboring houses. The complete absence of front doors.